In this video, we are going to talk about non-essential whorls of the flower. Okay, the flower having two different type of whorls, that is essential whorls and non-essential whorls, and this type are on the basis of whether the whorl is taking part in the sexual reproduction process or not. Okay, so total 4 whorls are present in the angiospermic flower, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, out of which first two whorls, that is calyx and corolla, is grouped into non-essential whorl class, while remaining two whorl, that is androecium and gynoecium, is considered as essential whorl because they are directly involved in sexual reproduction process. Okay, so in this video, I am going to talk in detail about the non-essential whorl. Sometimes they are called as accessory whorls. Okay, and there are two important type of accessory whorls which do not take direct part in the sexual reproduction process, which is calyx and corolla. I have already discussed a few things about the calyx and corolla in the first video of flower section. Then in some flower, another type of whorl is present which is quite different from calyx and corolla, which is called as perianth. So all these three, that is calyx, corolla and perianth, are come under non-essential or accessory whorl. Okay, they only perform function of protection and attraction of the insect and birds for pollination purpose. They are not directly involved in the sexual reproduction process or gamete formation process. Okay, so first is calyx. If we draw a typical flower structure like pedicel, thalamus, then first whorl which is present attached to the thalamus is nothing but the calyx. Okay, so this is the calyx, and individual member of the calyx is called sepal. So calyx is first whorl of the flower. And individual member of the calyx is called as sepal. Now, if these sepals are united with one another in the flower, then it is called as gamosepalous condition. And if they are free from one another, then we can call it as polysepalous. So these two terms are related to the sepals. Okay, if the sepals are free from one another, then we can call it as a polysepalous condition. Example is brassica. And if these sepals of the calyx are united with one another or fused with one another, we can call it as gamosepalous condition. In floral formula, we may draw sepals like this. And if a gap is present between the two sepals, that means the flower is polysepalous type. Each and every sepal is free from each other. While in case of gamosepalous, we draw structure like this in the floral formula, which represent the gamosepalous condition. That means the sepals are fused with one another. Example of polysepalous calyx is brassica, while example of gamosepalous calyx is found in China rose. Okay, now depending upon the time for which the sepals are present on the flower, there are three different types of the sepal or calyx, that is cadicose, deciduous and persistence. Okay, so first is cadicose type of calyx. In this type, sepals fall off from the thalamus as soon as bud open. Okay, so during the initial days of the flower, when buds get open, at that time this type of sepals fall off. So they are not present for a long time on the flower, they immediately get fall off once flower open, and such type of sepals or calyx is called as cadicose type of sepal. An example is arginone. Then sometime the sepals remain on the flower till the weathering of petals. That means they are remain on the flower or attached to the flower till petals or corolla is present on the flower. So they are present quite longer period on the flower. So they are called as deciduous type of calyx or sepal. Example is lotus. While now in case of persistent type of calyx, the sepals will going to remain on the flower till the formation of fruit. Okay, that means they are persistently present on the flower, and example is brinjal. If we draw the structure of brinjal, okay, so you can find green structure, green leaf-like structure attached to the fruit, which is nothing but the persistent type of sepals or calyx. So this is the type of a calyx in which sepal remain until the fruit formation. Okay, so these are the three different type of calyx on the basis of how much time the sepals will going to present on flower. And lastly, now we will going to discuss about the different functions of the calyx, okay, or sepal in the flower. The first and most important function of the calyx or of the sepal is protection. As they are green in color and they generally protect the inner important essential whorl, that is androecium and gynoecium, that means stamen and carpel, at the time of bud. Okay, when the flower is in initial stage, these sepals will going to protect the essential whorls from rain and from different type of injuries. Okay, then next important function of the calyx is food production. As calyx or sepals are green in color, they contain chlorophyll pigment and they can perform photosynthesis and generate food for the growth and development of the plant. Okay. Third important function of the calyx in the plant is attraction of insect and birds, because in some cases these sepals or calyx are bright in color, so that they can attract the insect and birds and they play important role in the pollination process. When sepals and petals are bright in color in the flower instead of green color, we can call such sepals as petaloid sepal. That means these are the type of sepal which look like petioles or corolla because they are bright in color. So we can call it as petaloid sepal. And last function of the calyx is when calyx get modified, hairy structure is produced, and this structure can help in the dispersal of the fruits. Okay, so sometime the persistent type of calyx remain after fruit formation and hairy structures are produced. Such structures are called pappus, and this pappus type of structure help in dispersal of fruit in the environment. So function is dispersal. So in the calyx section, we discussed that it is the first outermost whorl which is green in color, and individual member of the calyx is called sepal. Then if the sepals are free from one another, it is called as polysepalous condition. Example is brassica, and when they are united with one another, it is called gamosepalous condition. Example is China rose. On the basis of their life on the flower, the calyx can be caducous, then deciduous and persistent. Okay, and there are four important functions of the calyx in the flower, that is protection, food production, attraction of insect and birds or agencies for pollination, and in case of pappus type, they help in dispersal of the fruit. So this is all about the calyx. Now the second whorl which is present in the flower is corolla. Okay, if we draw the structure of the corolla, it is the second whorl which is larger than the calyx, and the individual member of the corolla is called petals. Okay, So as calyx is made up of sepal, corolla is nothing but the group of petals. Okay, it is the second whorl which is larger than the sepals and it is bright in color. Okay. Then similar thing is there. If petals are free from one another, we can call them as polypetalous corolla, and example is rose plant. Okay, and if the petals are united or fused with one another, it is called as gamopetalous condition. Okay, and example is datura. So these two plants represent two different type of petals. When they are free from one another, it is polypetalous condition, and when they are united or fused, we can call them as a gamopetalous corolla. Okay, and corolla play two important functions in the flower. Number one is attraction of insect and birds. Okay, because corolla or petal is bright in color and they are scented, so they can easily attract insect and birds for pollination. Okay, we can call the insect and birds as agencies of pollination. So corolla play important role in pollination, and next function of the corolla is protection. As in the bud condition they are closed, so that this corolla can protect inner stamen and carpel in the bud condition. So these two are the important function of the corolla which is played by petal in the flower. The next type of whorl which come under non-essential group is perianth. Okay, sometime in some flower, instead of calyx and corolla, another or different type of structure is present in the flower which is called as perianth. Okay, and the individual member of the perianth is tepal. That means individual member of the calyx is sepal, individual member of corolla is petal. Similarly, individual member of the perianth is tepal. And if the tepals are free from one another, okay, then we can call that type of perianth is polyphylous perianth. Okay, and if the perianth is in which tepals are united or fused with one another, it is called as gamophylous perianth. Okay, that means these are the type of perianth on the basis of arrangement of the tepals. If they are united with one another, it is called as gamophylous condition, and when they are free from one another, we can call it as polyphylous condition. Okay, now on the basis of their structure, there are two different type of perianth as sepaloid perianth and petaloid perianth. If the perianth or tepal is green in color, which is similar to the sepals of the calyx, in that case, such perianth is called sepaloid perianth. That means perianth which is similar to the sepal of the calyx. Then, if the perianth is bright in color and larger in size, in that case, such perianth is called petaloid perianth, or the perianth which shows similarity with petals of corolla. Okay. Now, sepaloid perianth play a role or function similar to the calyx, while petaloid perianth play a role or function similar to that of the corolla. So, two important functions of the perianth. Number one is, okay, you can just remember the function of calyx for sepaloid perianth. Okay, the function is protection of the inner important whorls, food production, attraction sometime, and dispersal. So the first important function of the perianth is protection, which is played by sepaloid perianth, while the next important function which is played by petaloid perianth is attraction of insect and birds, because this type of perianth is similar to the petals of corolla. So second function is attraction. So in this way, now we have discussed in detail about the three important whorl of the flower which come under the non-essential or accessory whorl group, which is calyx, individual member is sepal, corolla, member is petal, and perianth, individual member is tepal. In our next video, we are going to discuss about the essential whorl, in which two important structures is coming. Number one is androecium, that is stamens, and gynoecium, that is carpel. Thank you.